Good morning, Gabe D. Armand here. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Happy first day of the NCAA tournament. Whatever it is you choose to celebrate and observe today, hope that you have a good Thursday. We're going to start our Thursday off by talking to Mizzou wide receiver Luther Burden here on the Touchdown Luther Burden Show. This is episode number 3. Luther's going to take us through his wild recruiting process that ended up with more than 50 offers and him signing with Missouri in December, and then obviously enrolling in January. He's on campus, and you'll get to see Luther and the rest of his teammates in the black and gold game on Saturday. So we'll talk about all that with Luther here in just a minute, but before we do that, always have to thank the people who make what we do possible, and in this case, that is our friends at Pro Energy. Located in Sedalia, Missouri, Pro Energy is a global company dedicated to supporting renewable energy growth with reliable, reduced emissions, power generation services, construction, and development. They harness world-class talent, and on an impressive 90-acre campus, the company can quickly and reliably fill gaps in the power supply to heat homes, boost economies, and maintain a connected world. You can see how Pro Energy supports the power grid with American jobs at proenergyservices.com, and just really educate yourself in a little bit about what they do. It's pretty interesting. I poked around over there just to kind of figure out exactly what it is and how it impacts our lives every day. So encourage you guys to do the same. Once again, thanks to our friends at Pro Energy here for making this possible. But look, you're not here to hear me talk, or at least not to talk other than what questions I might have for Luther. So without further delay, let's go ahead with episode 3. All right, we bring in Luther Burden once again, fresh off meetings. Luther, I think we're recording this at 8 o'clock in the morning. I think a lot of people don't realize how early you guys get up and get your day started, man.
Yeah, we get up real early.
Yeah, so fresh out of position meetings, and before we're going to talk on this episode about your recruiting process and all that. But real quick before we do that, I wanted to ask you. So yesterday, you guys got to do something that a lot of fans thought was kind of cool, right? For the spring game this weekend, you had some team captains and you got to go through a draft, and some of that was put out on social media. Was that something that all the guys kind of had fun with and thought was a cool way to do it?
Yeah, definitely. The guys really look forward to it. It was real fun.
Yeah, were there
being part of it.
were there guys like kind of trying to lobby the captains and stuff, like you got to take me with like your first round pick or anything like that?
No, nobody went on it.
All right, so like I said, we're going to talk recruiting process, and you said on one of the earlier shows we did, you got your first offer when you were a freshman in high school, and did you say that was a Missouri offer? That was your very first one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so obviously, eventually, that's where you ended up. There was a lot between then, but how does the first offer like hit different? Is that one that you always just kind of remember, no matter who it would have been from?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What did you think when you first got that very first offer? When you're just, what I assume you're probably like 14 years old, right?
Yeah.
What kind of goes through your mind when that happens?
Just excitement for real. Because I didn't know like my offers would start rolling in that early, so it was just really excitement.
Mm-hmm. And you may not remember all the way it went. I mean, by the time it was over, you had offers from just about everybody. But was it pretty soon after that then that you started really getting other offers from other programs, or did that take maybe more into like your sophomore year?
No, the offers really came in early. So freshman year, that's really when it really all started.
Okay.
I had about 15 offers like going into the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you remember? Was there anyone that like at any point where you got an offer and you kind of thought, oh man, I didn't, where it kind of stood out? Maybe it was a big program or somebody that you hadn't ever really thought about being a possibility. Was there anything that jumped out to you right at the beginning?
Yes. When I got Oklahoma, the coach flew in literally to just like give me an offer. So he was literally here for like 5 minutes. So he flew all the way from Oklahoma, came here for 5 minutes, and we met and stuff. And so he left.
I,
So
I was
they
going to
really
ask,
still left.
would that have been Coach Stoops that offered you, or do you remember which coach it was? Because I don't remember
Coach
how long.
Coach Simmons.
Okay, okay. So it was position coach, and then
Yeah.
so obviously this is the goal, right? When you're a high school football player, the goal is, hey, I want these people to take notice of me and all that. So that happened for you really early, and you've got 15 offers going into your sophomore year. And at that point, are you still thinking, hey, this is a really cool process and this is fun, or was it already starting to kind of wear on you and get old?
No, it was fun. I was enjoying it as a freshman because I like, all my friends and stuff. They didn't really have no offer, so it was just real. I took advantage of it, of
Mm-hmm.
like the situation I was in.
Give fans an idea, like, what is your phone like when you're going through this recruiting process, especially the early part, freshman and sophomore? Like, do you already have coaches hitting you up like almost every day, or at that point are they kind of offering you and giving you some space?
Yeah, they offer me and give me some space because they can't really talk to you like when you're freshman sophomore. So
Right.
junior it really starts pick up
Mm-hmm.
a lot.
So if I remember the timeline correctly, you actually ended up committing to Oklahoma in the summer before your junior year. Is that or right toward the beginning of your junior year? Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. I committed the first game of my
Okay.
junior year.
Okay. Why at that point, kind of why did you feel like, hey, I'm already ready to do this so early? I mean, what was the decision process at that time?
Um, I was really, just ready to, get it over with at the point, and Oklahoma really, stood out from everyone else,
Mm-hmm.
and I really, had a great relationship with Coach Lincoln and Coach Simmons, so they made me, feel like home when I went
Yeah.
down there.
At that point, had you taken, had you seen a lot of different places and had you gone to some different campuses, or had you not done a lot of visits at that point?
No, I really didn't. I've been to Mizzou, well, I wasn't, really onto it, but yeah, I didn't go to a lot of places
Okay.
before.
I know when fans look at recruiting, they just kind of they go through it and they look at it like, well, hey, here's how many games this team's won and here's what the depth chart looks like, and they analyze all these different things. Mookie was telling me when he went through his recruiting process the first time, like, he didn't really look at all that like he felt like he should have. So when you're initially making that decision, I mean, have you really thought about depth charts and different things, or you just Mookie said he made his decision kind of just on emotion? Looking back, did you feel like you looked at everything you needed to look at early on or not?
Early on, nah, definitely not. But I knew I had a knowing that what I was stepping into, going to Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm. At what point then? I mean, you commit to Oklahoma in first game of your junior year. You go through that whole season, really part of the next summer, even committed to Oklahoma. At what point did it kind of cross your mind that hey, you might think at least about looking around and seeing if there were some other options that you should have looked harder at the first time?
Well, to be honest, Coach Drink, wouldn't let me not hear him out. So they really, made me look into other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. What is that like once you commit? Because like I've had a lot of coaches say, hey, a kid will commit to another school, but as long as he doesn't tell us to quit calling him, we're gonna keep calling him. So what was that communication like, kind of with not just with Missouri, but with all kinds of schools when you were committed?
At first, for a minute, down, and shoot, when nobody really like after me for real because I was committed so early. So, um, basically, they just gave me space.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So
but
you
then,
go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, but I was gonna say, but then like after I got like ranked like number one, um, that's when everybody started calling my phone
Mm-hmm.
like a lot more.
And what was kind of your attitude at that point in time? Because like you got guys who do what I do, who are I'm sure blowing up your phone, trying to get comments from you. You got coaches blowing up your phone. At that second time around, did it get a little bit too much, or were you able to shut it out pretty easy?
Yeah, it definitely got a little too out of hand. Yeah, because a lot of coaches, just continue to call each and every day, so
Mhm.
it's gonna get annoying eventually.
How hard is it? And I don't know if you ever really do this or not, but if say there's a coach that he's blowing you up all the time, and you really know in the end you're not gonna end up going to that school. How hard is it to just kind of tell a coach, "Hey, man, I appreciate it, but you need to spend your time somewhere else." I mean, is that something you ever do, or do you just let them send their messages and kind of ignore them?
No, for a minute, I just let them send their messages. I didn't reply back, but the coaches like I talk to, I let them know for
Yeah.
sure.
Is that I mean that's got to be hard as like a 16, 17-year-old kid calling this big time college coach and saying, "Hey coach, I appreciate it, man, but I'm going to go somewhere else." Is that a phone call you get like nervous about before you got to make?
No, I usually send a text. I don't like.
Okay.
Yeah, I usually send a text.
There you go. That's perfect. So then I think it was last summer. Obviously you had told everybody you were going to visit. I assume Oklahoma knew you were going to visit some places, even though you were committed. I think you went down to Ole Miss. I know at least planned at one point to go to Alabama. You went to Georgia. You came to Mizzou a few times. So was last summer just kind of I think I talked to you at one point and you said, "Man, I haven't been home for like 6 weeks." What was that last summer like, just going all over the country?
Last summer was a lot. I had stuff with my team, plus visits, plus the Future 50. So I really went at home a lot, but you know, uh, it was a lot to deal with. Honestly,
Yeah.
I don't know how I got through that.
When I mean, the good part of these visits for you is, hey man, when you're a recruit, like you show up on campus, especially when you're the number one receiver in the country, I'm going to imagine you get some pretty good treatment, right? They're rolling out the red
Yeah,
carpet for
definitely.
you. So that part of it's got to be fun.
Yeah, that definitely was fun. Getting the red carpet blown off for
Yeah.
sure.
So take me forward then to, when you officially kind of publicly decommitted from Oklahoma. I know you put out a graphic and all that, but what went into that decision, and did that kind of require a phone call to Coach Riley, I guess, at the time?
Yeah, yeah, I added him and Coach Simmons to a three-way. And shoot, told him like I'm gonna decommit and reconsider my options.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, it was tough.
Yeah,
Told him that.
I'm sure it was. Anything that you can offer? I mean, obviously, look. You still kept Oklahoma in consideration, and I'm sure you still had good relationships with those guys. But was there any particular reason at that time that you thought, hey, this is the right move for me?
Yeah, leading up to the point, it was a lot of like it was a lot of outsiders, saying like he gonna decommit, he gonna go here and there and shoot. It was just I don't know.
Is so when you decommitted from Oklahoma, like immediately everybody on the outside, like you said, thinks they know what you're doing. And like within 36 hours, everybody's saying, well, he decommitted from Oklahoma. He's going to go to Missouri. Like, did you actually know where you were going when you decommitted or not?
Nah.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-mm.
What's that like in your position sitting there? Because I'm sure you try to block some of it out, but you've got to see it on social media, right? Seeing all these people saying, "Hey, this is what he's doing," and you know that they don't really know what they're talking about. Is that easy to ignore or not?
Yeah, it's easy to ignore.
Okay. I guess that's probably something you've been dealing with for a few years now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Okay, so then take me through those next couple months. You visit Georgia, and I know Alabama was still under consideration. Just between the time when you decommitted from Oklahoma and you made your announcement to go to Missouri, just tell me what really sticks out to you, what you remember about that kind of 2-3 months in there.
Um, Sure. I really just made like a T chart and like put the goods and the bads like with each school
Mm-hmm.
and which one, will have will fit me the best and have the best opportunity for me.
Mm-hmm. Um, it, who was it that was really kind of that you were talking to helping you with that decision? Was it your family? Was it do you have some other people around you, or was this just, hey, you were figuring it out for yourself?
Yeah, my family.
Mm-hmm.
My
Did
family.
they what did they tell you like going into it? I mean, obviously they want you to make your decision, but what kind of input did you get from your parents about what you needed to be looking for?
Um, they was happy with either whatever decision I made, honestly, and they just they told me like um they really, yeah, we just really, put out the goods and the bads with each school.
Mm-hmm.
So
When I know that Missouri fans got a little bit nervous there that last week before you decided. You took an official visit down to Athens, Georgia, and hey man, you're down there on the campus of a team that ended up winning the national title. Just tell me about your chance to go see that and what really stood out about them that obviously made them a pretty big contender for you.
the relationship I got, with Coach Hank there,
Mm-hmm.
uh, so he really, made me. He was a good, like, he was a great. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, me and him just had a great relationship, and I love, talking to him
Mm-hmm.
about on and off, on the field football and off the field. He's a great person.
So you come back from that trip and you're doing your announcement at the Herbert Hoover Boys and Girls Club, but I think it was like 6 o'clock one night. How how soon before you actually told everybody else did you decide, hey, I'm going to go to Missouri?
Um, I mean, the only people who really knew was like my family,
Mm-hmm.
so I ain't really tell nobody.
Okay. Did the coaches know?
Uh,
Like before
no,
you made that announcement, you hadn't called Coach Drinkwitz and say, hey, I'm going to announce for you tonight.
no.
Okay. That's kind of cool. The reaction is genuine. Then they found out when the rest of us did. When you just picked up that hat and put it on, what was the main feeling? Was it just relief that, hey, you're done with this whole thing?
Yeah, it was really relief and a lot of excitement. Because I know I made like the whole city proud. That I'm staying home and shoot the whole Columbia. I know they rooted for me.
Right. So you said after the first time, after you committed to Oklahoma, like there would still be some other coaches hitting you up and Coach Drinkwitz would call you. So when you committed to Missouri, you still got 2 months left till signing day. Did other coaches keep trying to change your mind, or did they understand at that point, hey, this is the second time. This is probably over for us?
Yeah, a couple schools reached out, but I told them like I'm locked in already. So
Right. And then I guess just since you made that, between when you made that announcement and you got to sign, just you know, I'm curious. Do you even know how many offers you ended up having? Like, did you ever count the final number?
it's like 52 of them.
Okay,
Like
so
52.
So 52 offers, and after going through that whole process, is one of the most highly ranked guys in the country. Like, now that you're done with it and you're a college football player, what are your feelings on the recruiting process? Was it fun? Was it stressful? Was it somewhere in between?
It's fun at the beginning, when you're getting all the attention, all the offers, and at the end when it's crunch time, it's real stressful.
Right. And I mean, what's is the hardest part of it just telling people no, or is the hardest part of it, hey man, I don't have time to deal with all this? What's the most difficult thing when you're going through that?
Probably telling people no.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a mixture of all of it, like, not having time, not feeling like talking to nobody. Um, you just want to, get your mind off of it and, think about something else for a minute.
Right. Okay. So last thing for you, I'm going to ask you, like, you go through high school, you're a 5-star recruit. Every time you go somewhere, you're treated like a king and all that. And then I've had a lot of people that have gone through this process tell me, hey, once you show up at practice number one, like none of that matters, man. So tell me how different it is when you get in and you're going through spring practice than it was for 3 years with all these coaches basically telling you what you want to hear to try to get you there.
Well, for real, none of my coaches really told me what I wanted to hear,
Okay.
because, I wouldn't want to be around no coach who, who want to, like, I want to make it hard, so I can be the best version of me. But, yeah, that's really it.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, you get to have you have you made a conscious effort, and like, look, I've talked to you quite a few times now. You're not like a really brash person, but have you made a conscious effort to make your teammates feel like, hey, I'm not coming in here feeling entitled or anything?
Yeah, I'm extremely humble. I really don't even speak on, all my achievements and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people like who would have been in my shoes, they probably would, went crazy with all, the bragging and stuff. But I really just, I just be, humble, stay to myself and shoot, just trying to work and show people, this ain't just this actually work over here.
Mm-hmm. So Saturday is going to be fans' first chance to really see you. It's the black and gold game. So you gonna attempt to put on a show for them?
Yeah, for sure. That's what I'm here for.
All right. Well, Luther, appreciate it, man. We'll catch up with you. We'll set something up next week, kind of talk about the spring game and spring football being over, and then we'll give you a week off for spring break, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
All right, so there you go, Luther Burden, episode 3 of the Touchdown Luther Burden Show, and just kind of wanted to give you guys a look inside what it's like for one of the most highly recruited kids in the country. More than 50 offers. He commits before his junior year, then kind of figures out, hey, maybe I should look around a little bit and all that. So kind of wanted to give you guys a little insight into Luther's process and how he ended up here. And again, the spring game on Saturday, going to be your first chance to see him in action. We've certainly seen, heard a lot of good things about the way he's practicing, but he's one of 85, 90, 100 guys, and they'll all be on display for you on Saturday afternoon at Faurot Field. And it's going to be a little more like a real game, so maybe something that is a little more entertaining than previous editions of the spring game have been. Before we let you go, or before we let me go, I want to remind you of a couple things. If you are watching on our YouTube channel, please hit the like button on the show, subscribe to the channel. That helps get what we're doing in front of more eyeballs and more people. If you're listening on the podcast, which I will upload very quickly, then we'd like you to leave us a nice review, leave some nice comments. However you consume this, we want you to share it on social media. And we also want you to support our supporters at Pro Energy. Pro Energy is a global energy company. It's located in Sedalia, Missouri, and run by big Missouri Tiger fans, dedicated to supporting renewable energy growth with reduced emissions, power generation services, construction, and development. I keep trying to figure out synonyms and different words to say that, but I'm not smart enough to do it, so I'm just relaying it to you the way that they related to me. Pro Energy harnesses world-class talent and has a huge 90-acre campus in Sedalia. The company quickly and reliably fills gaps in the power supply to heat homes, boost economies, and maintain a connected world. Pro Energy supports the power grid with American jobs. You can learn more about them at proenergyservices.com. And once again, appreciate their support. Appreciate Luther making some time after early morning meetings for this week's episode. And appreciate you guys watching and listening. All kinds of things at powermizzou.com. If you haven't seen it yet, for the rest of this week, the next 2-3 days, we are offering you 50% off of a one-year premium subscription. That is less than $50 to get this show, the show with Mookie Cooper that we do every week, full coverage of spring football and recruiting and the coaching search. We're covering Missouri baseball and softball. It is a busy time of year. All that for less than $50. Use the promo code MUSearch22 when you go to sign up. Appreciate that. Thanks once again to everybody involved here, and mostly to Luther Burden III and our friends at Pro Energy. We'll talk to you guys later on.